welcome to GemChem. Now today's video is on nucleophilic substitution part 2 video, and here we are going to deal with effect of the structure of substrate on saturated carbon part. Now before starting, already one video is uploaded in channel, you can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. And if you are new to GemChem, don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Now let us start. Now first concept which we are going to derive is from this treatment of ethanolic NaOH solution on CH3Br, CH3CH2Br and CH3 2CHBr and CH3 3CBr. And we will see the observations, then analyze each and every portion. First is that these two molecules undergoes ready hydrolysis, and there is a change in reaction kinetics from this side to this side, that is left to right. What is the change in the reaction kinetics? First two shows second order kinetics, the middle one shows mixed kinetics, that is at higher concentration of alkali, greater second proportion reaction, that is second order reaction is more, whereas at low concentration of alkali, greater first order proportion. And this last one shows first order kinetics. Now as we move from left to right, the electrophilicity of the carbon, that is, if we see the carbon present here and this carbon and this carbon containing the halide group decreases because of enhanced plus I effect, as there is increase in number of methyl groups present here. There is no methyl group, whereas here one methyl group, there is two methyl groups, and here is three methyl groups. Thus the OH minus have low tendency to attack the carbon bearing the halogen in case of this one. Thus SN2 becomes increasingly less favorable in this same direction. So if we concentrate on the plus I effect, so plus I effect increases from left to right, as a result of which SN2 becomes less favorable. Now we have already seen that here in this portion relative crowding has increased from this portion, right? So this relative crowding has also an effect on this. That is, if you consider this one has a transition state which is more crowded compared to the reactant, right? And as a result of which, on moving from left to right, their relative crowding increases and SN2 becomes less favorable in the same direction, as backside attack becomes difficult. Now next portion what we see is that carbon cation stability increases as we grow from left to right, which indicates that SN1 becomes more favorable, right? As there is increase in plus I effect, as well as the hyperconjugation also increases, and as a result of which SN1 is expected to be more favorable in this direction, because here carbocation stability is gained and backside attack is not possible. And we will see another example if we consider this reaction to be taking place, that is replacement of a halide with another halide, then this rate, relative rate of SN2 reaction agrees with those observed in the previous case. Okay, that is, this will show SN1 reaction, whereas this is favorable towards SN2 reaction. So if you see here, CH3Br has a relative rate of 1, whereas this has the least relative rate, that is 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 5. Since it is highly branched tertiary substrate undergoing ionization readily in order to relieve the relative crowding, that is, here is 4 groups attached, but if Br goes away, then there is 3 groups attached. So relative crowding is decreasing as it is going from tetrahedral state to trigonal transition state, as a result of which we can have a favorable SN1 reaction from while going to the right. Next, if you see here, then these are two compounds. If you see, for this case, hydrolysis is being considered. That is, we are considering its hydrolysis rate in 80% aqueous acetone, and here if the group is being replaced, that is, for first case we are taking methyl, then the relative rate is fine to be about 1, whereas if we take it as tertiary butyl, then relative rate becomes much increased in case of SN1 reaction, since the crowding gets released on formation of carbocation, and thus the reaction can take place much easier times. Whereas if we see here, then here all the three groups are being attached with tertiary butyl, right? So more increase in rate and the reaction takes place faster in SN1 mechanism. And these particular effects are summarized under the category of B strain or back strain. Next is, this is a higher example of B strain or back strain. If you see this 2-alkyl 2-adamantyl para-nitrobenzoate, so here we are doing the hydrolysis, so this group will go away, but when this R is CH3, the rate is 2.0, but as we are increasing the bulkiness, this rate is increasing 1 by 1, and this relative rate shows that due to the presence of large B strain, this effect is being observed. Back strain is responsible for this observation, and we can see that in the next case there is another type of strain, that is internal strain or I strain. This raises in the solvolysis of tertiary halides. We have these compounds and their relative rates. So here you can see that the pentagon, that is our pentane present 1-chloro-1-methyl cyclopentane, undergoes solvolysis at 43.7 times faster than tertiary butyl chloride, because upon ionization there is a relief in the eclipsing strain, as a 5-membered ring is almost planar, because here there was a difference in the eclipsing. As we have seen while drawing the Newman projection, when there is eclipsing there is steric hindrance, but when carbocation formation takes place, then this particular strain is being released, this internal strain is being released. As a result, its rate is much higher. But in case of the cyclohexane ring, this is not so, because this particular relief of strain is absent in case of this. If you see here, then there is no particular strain in specific, and this follows the usual reaction. This has about 1/3 the rate of tertiary butyl chloride, and the reason of such a small decrease is not clear. However, you have to understand that the solvation takes place only from the equatorial phase, as solvation is difficult from this axial phase, because there is presence of 2 hydrogen which can produce steric hindrance. Here are the 2 hydrogens. When nucleophile tries to attack from the downside, that is axial phase, it will face steric hindrance, whereas when equatorial phase attack takes place and the solvation occurs, there is no strain. So we consider the attack always to be from the equatorial phase. Now we are going to see another example where we are taking phenyl rings. Now we are considering solvolysis of these 3 compounds in 50% aqueous CH3CH2OH. When one phenyl group is taken, then mixed kinetics is shown, but in water follows first order kinetics, whereas these two produces first order kinetics only. Now this portion, that is PH2CHCl, has a major difference with all the other things, and we will see it in details in this video. If you see here, previously the trend was like this, that first 2 members were showing second order kinetics and the middle one was showing mixed kinetics, whereas the last one was showing first order kinetics. But the trend in case of phenyl rings has completely changed. Why this is so? Because higher stabilization of benzylic carbocation through resonance is being observed. See here, the resonance results in formation of more stable carbocation. As a result of this, phenyl group is bulkier than methyl group, and SN2 becomes increasingly less favorable on moving from left to right, and thus we get such a trend. Now we are going to see about the PH2CHCl. Now here it shows first order kinetics. In initial stages, but complicated kinetics in later stages, and also shows common ion effect. Now the explanation for this is that if we consider the reaction as follows, that is Rx gets break down into R plus and X minus, and this R plus reacts with nucleophile to produce RNU. Then in order to determine the rate of reaction, we need to apply the steady state approximation. Now when I will show you the kinetics portion where steady state approximation chapter is present, then this will be dealt with in details. Now for this part you have to understand what is it in short portion. First of all, what will be the rate? The rate will be equal to K2 R plus concentration and nucleophile minus concentration. Now how I wrote this, if you want to know, you can see the chemical kinetics video which is already being uploaded in channel. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now see here, according to the steady state approximation, you have to understand that the short-lived intermediate which is being generated is taken as our assumption, and here we will take its differentiation with respect to time and make it equal to 0. And here the short-lived intermediate is R plus. So we are taking basically d R plus concentration by dt. And what will be this one? This one must be K1 Rx minus K minus 1 R plus X minus K2 R plus NU minus concentration. Now from here, since this is equal to 0, we can get K1 Rx K minus 1 R plus concentration X minus concentration plus K2 R plus concentration and NU minus concentration. And from here R plus concentration can be obtained as K1 Rx concentration divided by K minus 1 X minus concentration plus K2 NU minus concentration, that is nucleophilic concentration, and ultimately the rate of reaction comes to be as K1 Rx NU minus concentration divided by K minus 1 X minus concentration plus K2 NU minus concentration. Beginning of the reaction, when the concentration of X minus is very low, then we can consider that K minus X minus concentration is negligible compared to K2 NU minus, as a result of which the rate of reaction can be written as or reduced to rate equals to K1 Rx. Now from this we can say that it displays it to be as first order, simple first order kinetics in their initial stages, but most kinetic studies of SN1 fall into this category. In the later stages of SN1 solvolysis, as X minus concentration builds up, the rate should decrease, and this indeed is found to be the case when we are using diaryl methyl halides, and this is not observed for tertiary butyl halides, which follows first order kinetics for entire reaction. Why this is so? Because tertiary butyl cations are less selective than relatively stable diaryl methyl cations, and the halide ion is more powerful nucleophile than water, which is more available as it is solvent, whereas this selective diaryl methyl cation basically collides with many solvent molecules before combining with reactive halide, whereas in case of tertiary beta cation this do not occur because it does not wait for the reactive and relatively rare halide, but it combines with the solvent. As a result, its rate is towards the first order kinetics throughout. And addition of NaCl in first step, what does it do? It drives the reaction to the backward reaction because of common ion effect, and which is not the case when we are taking tertiary butyl halide. And you have to remember that this common ion effect is very important. I have already explained the common ion effect in ionic equilibria video. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. And when this common ion effect is taking place, then certain cases occur when after some time the rate of combination of carbocation with incoming nucleophile decreases and the second step becomes rate determining step. Then the mechanism changes from SN1 to SN2, and this is very important. Next part is that vinyl halides and halobenzenes do not undergo nucleophilic substitution. Vinyl halide looks like this. 3 different groups can be attached or same groups can be also attached, and the halobenzene looks like this. Why this is so? Why they do not undergo nucleophilic substitution? First of all, you have to understand that now the hybridization has changed from sp3 to sp2. These carbons have sp2 hybridization, and thus there will be adverse effect of this towards the hydrolysis. First is that the carbon halogen bond is difficult to break. Why this is so? Because if we consider on the resonance structures, then on this portion basically the carbon chlorine bond also in this case has become a partial double bond character. That is, it is stronger than single carbon halogen bond in alkyl halides. So this bond is difficult to break. Next point is that the pi electrons of the double bond inhibit the approach of an attracting nucleophile. And if we consider the next part, then the backside attack is not possible due to the steric interaction, as this implies that SN2 is not possible since backside attack is not available for you. So if you see here, if nucleophile tries to come from the backside of X, then it will face steric hindrance with these two groups. And if it tries in this case also, it is never possible because the aromatic ring is present at the backside. Thus nucleophilic substitution do not occur. But another reason also is that these carbocations which are formed after removal of halide is also unstable because they have to attain linearity, which is not possible in case of these type of hybridizations, and SN1 reaction is also not possible. Now, though it is not possible, but there are two types of cases where SN1 like mechanism is possible, but the mechanism is not completely SN1. There is some difficult things involved within. So if you see here, these two compounds can undergo SN1 like mechanism because one of this contains a good leaving group, that is OSO2CF3, and this is called trifluoromethane sulfonate, or we can write it as triflate group. This can get away easily, whereas in this case for this compound it has an electron donating group which stabilizes the carbocation which is formed in this particular carbon, right? And you have to also understand that mechanism of this particular reaction is not shown in this video. If you want to know about this, I will definitely give you the mechanism and explain it. So if you want to know, you can ask me in the comment section, right? Now see here, the next part is that SN2 reaction rate when we are considering primary halides. The bulkiness is being increased in the next carbon atoms, and the trend goes obvious as we have seen. This is 1 and this has the least trend because here SN1 will be favored rather than SN2 because backside attack will be hindered. If you consider for this one, suppose we take for this one. In this case, there is an option that here hydrogen can live, here our bromine can live, and here are the other two hydrogens, right? And one of the CH3s will be present like this in towards us. Another CH3 will be present away from the us. So attack can take place easily. So there is little chance of attack, but still it will face steric hindrance from these two CH3. But when you replace with another CH3 present here, that is, if another CH3 is present here, then the nucleophile attack from the backside becomes relatively difficult due to steric reason. As a result, we can see that rate is decreasing from left to right. In the next case, we are seeing that Here also rate decreases as we move from this part to this part, that is left to right. The rate of solvolysis in 80% aqueous ethanol at 25 degrees Celsius decreases. Now you have to understand that this one is a rigid cage-like structure and backside attack is not possible. And if we try to see that it is achieving planarity at bridgehead is impossible. Thus, transition state for SN2 is impossible to access. Again, if we consider about SN1, as it happens in the tertiary butyl bromide, is also inhibited in these last two compounds because the carbocation intermediates are higher in energy and are formed very slowly. The very greatly reduced solvolysis rate of the last one than the very greatly reduced solvolysis rate of last one compared to the second one reflects a greater rigidity about the bridgehead with one carbon bridge in the middle. Okay, and here there is two carbon bridge in the second one. This type of bridged compound was first studied by P.D. Bartlett and L. Knox. Now the last example which we are going to deal with is these two. So here you can see that here the rate is very less. Rate of solvolysis is very late. This large difference is due to the presence of these phenyl rings in the bridgehead. Okay, here must be a Br. So this bridgehead position is very unstable to carry out SN1 or SN2 reaction. Now another thing which is very important in this case is that alkyl chloride known as chloromethyl ether, that is CMME, or methoxymethyl chloride reacts very well with alcohols to form ethers. It is primary alkyl chloride and we might think that it would undergo SN2 mechanism, but in fact it undergoes SN1 reactive. It is methoxymethyl chloride. Then though we think that there will be SN2, but there occurs SN1 reaction. Why this is so? Because of the stability of carbocation. So ultimately what we get is this one, that is CH3O double bond CH2, and here is a positive charge, and this can contribute like this, that is CH3O CH2, and this is positive in charge, and this on being reacted with ROH produces OCH2 ORCH3, and this ether formation is done very nicely in SN1 reaction. So this much for today. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment.